Shalom, brothers and sisters. Grace, mercy, and peace be unto you. From Yahuwah, He is our Father. And Yahusha, He is the Mashayah, the one that carries the burden of Yah, His voice, our High Priest, soon coming King. Hear, O Yasharal, Yahuwah, who is our Mighty One. He is one. There is no other Mighty One, brothers and sisters, than Yahuwah. And Yahusha is His voice. This is Brother Dawood coming to you again to ask another question. Who are the ancient people? Here they are, on the walls in Egypt, in the middle of the screen. They called them the Amu, those who come from the Near East. They say that they are Semites. Semite is simply Shemite, from Shem. They say that they are shepherds. They say that they are a band of traders that came into Egypt to trade. This is shrouded in mystery, because there's a group of people who are covering this up and have been doing so for quite a while. Why have they done that? I mean, what would be the purpose? Well, it's simple. To reveal these people, the ancient people, to the world, and tell everyone who they are, would be to set off the balance that they have created in the East today. Everyone would uprise against the people who are in the land saying that they are Jews, and would know for a true fact that they've been lying to us. There was the leader of the Egyptians, Abdul Nasser, and he made a statement. He said that the Hebrews, they left here black, and now they've come back white. Does he know something that we don't know? Well, let's check out the Madain Project. These are the same people, the Madain Project, that's overseeing the complex in Tel Arad. They are a group of archaeologists, scientists, and they've all come together to investigate all of religious artifacts. Let's read. This scene, identify. Well, we've identified it already. I showed it to you in the intro. Is part of the third register from the top of the painting on the northern wall of the main chamber of Tomb 3 of the mortuary complex belonging to Khnum Hotep II. The accompanying inscription mentions that there were 37 persons, but the scene depicts only 15. 8 men, 4 women, and 3 children. These people are depicted with a different skin color. Oh, so they noticed. than almost all the other people on the mural. Their yellow skin. Yellow skin? Did you see any yellow on the wall? Their yellow skin was a standard Egyptian artistic convention to differentiate Mediterranean world foreigners from Egyptian men. Look what they're going to tell you. The Egyptians were painted in red skin color. Let's see. Here's the accompanying inscription that mentions that there were 37 persons. Let's see if we can read the numbers. You see them in between the lines? 1, 2, 3, space. 1, 2, 3, 4, space. Then we have 3 loops there. 10, 10, and 10. 37. I can't tell you if it's speaking of persons, but I can see that the number is right here in front of us. 37. On the right is a large figure of Khnumhotep, who is accompanied by one of his sons, and high and attended, and by 3 dogs, and the 4 lines of text above him state that he is inspecting his cattle and the produce of his lands. Of the 4 registers of figures before him, the first is perhaps the most important, for it illustrates the procession of a foreign people. Why is this one more important than everything else? They are called Amu. What does Amu mean? Those who come from the Near East. In the hieroglyphic inscription, who visited him in his capacity of governor of the 16th nome. Here he is here. He's painted on the walls as a giant. See, he's bigger than everyone else. Do you see on the line with the Amu? You can see the shepherd holding the horns of one of his goats. And then on that line, you can see the man handing the inscription so that Khnumhotep can see it. Above Khnumhotep's head, directly above, you'll see 1, 2, 3, 4. Those are some more inscriptions that I can't really make out or see too well. At the head of the procession or caravan is a royal scribe named Neferhotep, who holds in his hand a papyrus scroll on which is inscribed, Year 6, under the majesty of Horus, the leader of the world, the king of the south and north, Ra-Ka-Keper, in other words, Sesostris II. The list of the Amu brought by the son of the Khnumhotep on account of the stibium I paint, Amu of Shut. A list of 37 persons. You see, persons is in parentheses. Do you see that? And behind the scribe stands the official, Kati. Behind him, the Amu chief, or desert sheik. These are followed by the other members of the foreign tribe. The men of the Amu wear beards. This is very significant. The Egyptian didn't wear beards. It is said that the Pharaoh put on a fake beard on his chin for some reason, for are artistic reasons, but they didn't wear facial hair. They shaved, they were clean shaven, and carry bows and arrows. And both men and women are dressed in garments of many colors. That's very significant. It's in your Bible. Do you remember Jacob? He gave Joseph, a garment of many colors, very expensive, very beautiful. Here, you have Kati. You see him, the person right before the first shepherd, the one they call the desert sheik. And behind him, the one that's bent over, there's some inscriptions right next to his head. It is a mountain. It is desert. And there's a shepherd's staff there. They say that this says Hyksos. I do not agree at all. This is telling a story. Mountain. In the desert. A shepherd. Then below, the goat's head, our feet, walking towards the reed to a land that is fertile. It's speaking of a story in the Bible. Is it not? The group seems to be an extended family of traders. While the inscriptions mention eye paint, their equipment suggests a band of traveling metal workers. That might be appropriate. He said might. Since the most common material for eye paint in early Egypt was malachite, a green ore or copper, well known in the Syro-Palestine region. The home of the Amu was situated to the east of Palestine. To the east of Palestine. They're speaking modern terms. What would be the east of Palestine in ancient times? Canaan. In this mural, some have suggested a representation of the arrival of Jacob's sons in Egypt to buy corn. But there's no evidence for the support of this theory. I agree. There is no evidence to support that theory. Also, there's no evidence to support that they are the Hyksos, the Amu. All right, you heard what the Madain Project had to say about what they saw on the walls. They spoke to you about the yellow people. Here they are. These are the yellow people. They also explained to you that the Egyptians painted foreigners yellow and painted themselves a reddish brown hue. Note, he wasn't talking about the ancient Egyptians. He was talking about the modern Egyptians. They paint the images of those on the walls in their own image. See, this yellow represents their skin color. Are you with me so far? Even the figures that are in this picture do not look like the originals. They made them look like themselves. Look in the front here. The first Egyptian. You see he's handing that inscription with the numbers on the bottom to Khnum Hotep. And there is Kati, who is right in front of the Amu chief. Now let me speak about something that they said nothing about. Nothing at all. And I wonder why. Go up top, above their heads. Do you see that yellow man there? Look like he's in bondage. He's tied up. Why did they not mention that? We've read through the whole thing. You can go back and check again. Why did they not mention this? These are a band of traders came in to buy corn, right? Why is one of them up top in captivity? Wouldn't that be very significant, very important? Shouldn't you bring that out? But yet they said nothing about it. Okay, look in front of him, before him. You'll see numbers there. Remember I showed you the numbers that were on the inscription? Let's see if we can remember what they were. 1, 2, 3, space. 1, 2, 3, 4, space. Then 3 loops. 10, 10, 10, 37. But look at these numbers. Does it look like it's in the same format? The loops are not together, are they? They're on separate lines. And there's 5 numbers on the second line and 2 numbers on the first line, up top. What are they? 22, and the bottom number is 15. Is it speaking about how many people came in? 22 and 15 is 37, right? But let's think outside of the box. And let's just speculate that this is a date. We're going to come back to it. Let's speak about the man who is tied up. Before him is a cane, a staff. I showed you before that another artist drew this cane, and inside of the cane is a serpent. They didn't put it in here. Wouldn't that be significant? Why would a serpent be in a cane? How many of you know the story of Moses and Aaron? After the cane comes the owl, which represents sickness and death. Do you know that story? There's a story in the Bible about plagues. Then, the yellow symbol up top is great, strong, mighty. And under it is an arm stretched forth with an open palm. Where's it stretched forth to? It's facing the waters. See, there's 2 swiggly lines there. Waters, plural, represents multitudes. Who are the multitudes? Well, you see the brown legs walking out, pursued by the horned serpent. Then you come to the all-seeing eye. And above the all-seeing eye is a round circle with a dot, which means time. And next to time is bread. Then comes next the serpent and the buzzard. Did you guys watch the movies that I asked you to watch? Because if you watched them, then you would understand what I'm going to say next. Exodus, Gods and Kings, the serpent core, the chariot core, led by the young Pharaoh. He had a serpent on his head. And the buzzard core, led by the one who played the part of Masha. He had a buzzard on his head. It was the cavalry. They ran into a barrier here. See the candy cane? They had to stop. Behind the barrier is fire, heat, flames. That's what the symbol represents. While the brown legs that you saw with the arms stretched forth too have walked over water, not plural, but singular. And on the bottom of the water, you'll see bread. Then you come to the yellow man. Remember, the modern Egyptians painted foreigners, they said, yellow. Above his head is bread. And then next is a reed. It has feet on it. It is walking out. Could this represent that they walked over the waters? The reed, see, on foot? A picture, and here multiple pictures. They speak 1,000 words. Now let me tell you how powerful what I just read to you was. It is so powerful, they did not address it at all. Now these are the 15 people that are represented on the wall. Okay? Let's go back to the number. What was it again? 22 and 15. What if it's a date? 2,215. Let's speculate, using the scriptures as our source. The children of Abraham, Yatak, and Jacob sojourned in the land of Canaan and later came to Egypt. The total number and the amount of years is 430. Well documented in your book. And there's a timeline attached to it. We know through the timeline that the children of Yisrael did not come into the land of Egypt to meet their brother Yahusep or Joseph until 215 years to the Exodus. Now we can do some math. 2,215 subtract 215 for the time that they dwelt in Canaan. Then you come to the year 2000. From there, they would have met Yahusep in Egypt. He went down first. Could this be Yahusep that was brought in bondage? Look, the yellow man up top. Could this be him that's speaking of in this story? Because he came in first. They're not showing you multiple people in bondage, just one. When the brothers came to meet Yahusep in the year 2000, there was 215 years left to the Exodus. Does that make any sense to you? BibleArchaeology.org. Mainline contemporary scholarship and the Bible's own chronology are in accord in dating Joseph, Yahusep, sometime between 2000 and 1600 BC. So I wasn't crazy after all. Even the main line contemporary scholars, they can't pin it down, but they'll tell you it's between 2000 and 1600 BC. How did we get to 2000? We started at 2215. We subtracted 215 years that they dwelt in Canaan. Then we started from the time when the brothers came to meet Yahusep in the land of Egypt to buy grain, right? And that would have been in the year 2000. So we're on point. This time frame includes two important periods of Egypt's history: the Middle Kingdom from 2000 to 1786 BC, and the second intermediate period, 1786 to 1570 BC. So we're going with the Middle Kingdom. The hidden ones. So they would have came in, they would have met Yahusep, they would have begun their sojourning in the land of Egypt. They were not taken captives. They were not slaves. Yahusep, he ruled over the whole land of Egypt. He afforded them great rights. They even had their own land in Goshen, in the north. Yahusep died 144 years to the Exodus. Moses was born 80 years to the Exodus. And Moshe is the one who brought us out. Look at the people who are here on the walls in the same time frame that we're speaking of. In this time, they would have been under the time of Sin-Suret. He's the pharaoh of that day. And it would have been 1885. That would have made or been the time of the Exodus. Do you see I have the arm stretched forth to these people? Tell me something, brothers and sisters. What color are these people? They're not yellow. They don't look like the Egyptians today. Their facial features are not like any of those people. But I can tell you this much. They are an exact match for those that we call African Americans. Do you see the man in the corner peeking out? A lot of you wanted to know for many years, probably, what I look like. There it is. When I first saw it, the hairs on my arms stood up. Heat just overwhelmed me. I wanted to know. I asked my brothers, what is it that I'm looking at here? Well, this is what you're looking at. Because even though they tried to cover it up, they told you who these people are. What did they tell you? That they are shepherds. Who were the children of Yesharel? They were shepherds. They matched one thing. Next, they told you that they were Amu, that they come from the Near East. That's Canaan. Who did Yah give the land of Canaan? Who dwelt in the land of Canaan for 215 years, then came and sojourned in the land of Egypt and met Joseph there, the children of Yesharel. Then they said something else. They were Shemites. Not Semites. Shemites. From Shem. Hebrews. Abaya. The progeny of Abraham. If we cannot prove anything else, we can prove this. The children of Shem are brown. The Jews do not claim to come from Shem. Did you know that? They said that they're from Ashkenaz. Ashkenaz is from Yapet. %92 of them say that. You cannot be Shemitic and be from Ashkenaz. Is that clear? What else did they tell us? They spoke about their garments. Look at their garments. They are beautiful. I was speaking to my people here, Princess Maya, Sister Francis, Yahweh Me Yahu, Alashaba, and we were speaking about this. I told them, I said, look at the picture. These women have on boots. Wow. Did you guys notice that they have on these plum color boots? Even the young man carrying the spear has on these plum colored boots, while the men have on sandals. Did not the Bible tell you about Joseph and his beautiful coats made of different colors. This is the style of the children of Yasharel. Did you know that their garments were so beautiful and so costly and so well made that they could use them for collateral to borrow money? So we have, let's see, they're shepherds. They come from Canaan. They're from Shem. Their garments are absolutely gorgeous. Just like the book says, they are not yellow. They are brown. Now go back to the one that looks like me when I was a young man with my afro. But he looks exactly like my son right now. I mean, it's uncanny. DNA is something else. It came all the way down through the centuries. Brothers and sisters, you can look back and you can see your features here. They are not the features of Europeans or the Arabs today. Look, they don't have any chins and they have these small noses and you can see the lips poked out there. Beautiful women. But look at the guy that's peeking back at the women. He has a beard. The Egyptians didn't wear beards. Father commanded us not to round the corners of our beards or our afros. He has an afro there. Oxford and Webster's definitions. I got two here for you. Hebrew and Semitic. Let's start with Hebrew. 1. A member of an ancient people living in what is now Israel and Palestine. Note, they're not telling you that these people live there now. They're telling you that they lived in this land before it was called Israel and Palestine. What would that be? Canaan. And according to biblical tradition, descended from the patriarch Jacob, grandson of Abraham. After the Exodus, circa 1300 BC, can we stop for a moment? They gave you a date here. 1300 BC, under Ramesses II. Note, their dates are all over the place. We have the date of the Exodus at 1885 BC. Let me change that to BM. Before the Mashaya, BM. They have BC before Christ. That's why I said BM. So you have this date, and they stated, all of the archaeologists, scientists, said they found no evidence of any exodus in this time. Do you know why they found no evidence in this time? Because they're looking in the wrong time. They don't want to look into the 18th or the 19th century BM. It's too dark. They cannot find themselves, so they dismiss it. Can we continue now? They have established the kingdoms of Israel and Judah. That is Yasharel and Yahudah. And their scriptures and traditions form the basis of the Jewish religion. Do you see what Oxford has just done? They're telling you that these Jews that you have today are not the ancient people. But we have a people that are living there today who have taken the scriptures and our traditions and added it to themselves and created a religion called Judaism. They are converts to Judaism. Guess what you cannot be? You cannot be a convert to a bloodline. Okay, let's look at Semitic. 1. Of relating to or constituting a subfamily of the Afro-Asiatic language family that includes Hebrew. What did you say? The people that they call Hebrews are Afro-Asiatic, in other words, from Shem, Shemitic. Do you understand? You see, they were telling you all the time who these people are without really confirming it. You understand? It's called serpent speech. You have to have reading comprehension when it comes to them. So the Hebrews have afros. Who else have afros? Aramaic. Where are they from? Syro-Palestine. Arabic. They have afros. Where are they from? From Abraham, the one that we call Abraham. His name is Abraham, and Hebrew is Abar Yah. So Arabic is from Abraham. How do we know this? They're all his children. And Amharic, the language is Ge'ez, Ethiopia. Note, listen to what the Father said in the book. Did I not say that you, O children of Yasharal, look like the Ethiopians? What is the common factor in all these groups? They have afros. 2, of relating to or characteristic of the Shemites. What are the characteristics? Afros and brown skin. Here's the Pharaoh in question. His name is Senusret II. The Greek name for him is Sesostris II. You see the Hebrew term? It wouldn't be Pharaoh. It would be Para. Look at him. He has Negroid features, doesn't he? He still has his nose intact. The closer it gets, like to the 1300, the more that the noses are missing. They don't want you to see that. It shows who the people were and what they looked like that were living in this area at the time. What is the song that we used to sing? Tello, Para, let my people go. Under the timeline that we have showed you, we have narrowed it down to him. His reign would have been almost over in 1878 when Khnum Hotep had put all these things on the walls. Could we be looking at the Pharaoh of the Exodus? It is more likely than unlikely. Deuteronomy 33:29. There's my email address. If you have any questions or some contributions, send them here. Happy are you, O Yesharo, who is like unto you, O people saved by Yahuwah. There is no one who is like us. He stretched forth his hand to one group of people only, the children of Yesharo. If we have not found out anything else, we found this, that those who come from Shem are brown. The shield of your help. And who is the sword of your excellency? It is Yahuwah. If you have not returned to him, and to return to him is very simple. You have to return to his name, his Shabbats, his feast days. His name is Yahuwah. His Shabbats are in the sky. His feast days are in the sky. There is no addition of 13th months. You must dismiss your predispositions when you return to him and give him pure worship, not on the days of the Gentiles, but on his days. In 2019, after our 400-year captivity here in the Americas, which is proven now, it never happened in the land of Egypt. 400 years only happened here in Americas. We cannot dismiss that anymore. So in 2019, he stretched forth his arm with an open palm to the waters and put us on the path of the years. And we have been there, and we will not move. We're on his time, not on Gentilian time. For you to return, you have to return to his Shabbats, his feast days, and his way of counting the days. Look what he's going to say here. And your enemies shall be found liars unto you. Who told you you had to add a 13th month to the calendar? Your enemies. It's not listed in your book. You're following the Gentiles if you're doing that. And you shall tread upon their high places. That is what Dawood ben Yashayahu has been raised up to do. To tread upon all of their high places. What have we done? We've shown that Christianity is a lie. We've shown that Islam is a lie. We have shown that Judaism is a lie. All of our enemies have been found liars, and we have destroyed their high places. Come back to Yahuwah. Keep his commandments. He is revealing himself to you in these last days. He's also revealing what you look like. I'll show you another later. It's going to match this one. It's going to blow your mind. We are those ancient people. Stop denying it. Accept it. And return to the covenant. And keep his commandments. Soon. And I mean any day now. He's going to show up in the clouds with power and great glory. Do not be one of those who shall be weeping and gnashing of teeth because you are not ready. But get your act together now. Seek him while he can still be found. Shalom.